Welcome back to the Mail-In Podcast. Happy 2022 to all you mailers out there. What do we call our fans, Sally?
Is that what we're calling?
I don't know.
Mailers?
I don't think it's the mailers. We can come up with something better than that. It used to be the lunch line because we used to talk about food so much on this podcast with a former co-host and Kayla. But how was your Christmas / holiday season / New Year / whatever holiday you may have celebrated over the break, Sally?
We had a good time. We were in Austin for Christmas and then went to San Diego between Christmas and New Year's just for a little DeFreeze family getaway, just me, Will, and Fritz. And then we came back and celebrated New Year's and Will's birthday at home.
Very nice. Can I ask you a specific question?
Sure.
Your favorite cocktail of the last 2 weeks?
Honestly, I didn't drink a lot of cocktails.
Oh, are we breaking news here?
No. No. I just didn't make. Will had a lot more cocktails than I did. I feel like he's more of a martini boy, and I'm like a wine at the hotel bar girl.
Okay.
So I did drink some good champagne. I'm trying to think if I had a cocktail.
Nothing? Did you guys go like poolside at all in San Diego?
I mean, we did, but it was like 50 and raining.
Oh gosh.
So we were at the hot tub, the adult pool hot tub, while Fritz napped.
Very fun. Very cool.
I don't think I had any type of liquor while I was there.
Really?
I think I just had wine.
Wine /
champagne.
Mm-hmm. Will said did he go buy a relatively cheap handle of something prior to the hotel room so he didn't have to spend $1,100 on whiskey? We
had to go by Target on our way there because we forgot our baby monitor.
Oh.
Which doesn't really matter, but when we put Fritz down for a nap, we would go do stuff on the resort, and I brought all the stuff except for the camera, so we had to go buy one at Target. And while I was there, because California sells liquor in
Target,
I bought a bottle of wine and I bought a thing of Bullet, I think.
Pro move?
That he wouldn't spend money. Well, because if you are at the hotel bar, it's like $25 or something obscene for just one drink. Mm-hmm. So that saved us a little money.
Very pro move. From afar, it looked like Austin was the hottest place in America over Christmas, like at 85 and sunny.
Yeah, it was.
Did you take advantage, or was it just kind of like you?
What did we do on Christmas? The great thing about Austin and it being like that, I mean, it's not what you want, right? Like you want, I think, especially people who come from up north, want a snowy white Christmas. But then when we talked to Will's parents, I think the snow was melting that day, so it's kind of gross anyway. Mm-hmm. But the upside of that is always that you can hang out outside on Christmas Day. So we actually did our whole family Christmas outside. We opened presents inside, but we had dinner and stuff outside, which some of the people in our family got the cron, and I think protected Will and I because we were outside and didn't.
There you go.
Interacting inside. But then you forget, this didn't matter this year, but if you get a bike or something like that, you can ride it outside. Got Will a kayak. He did not take it out that day, but he could have if he wanted to.
That's a good gift.
It
was just straight up kayak, leaning up against the tree?
No, it is a foldable kayak. So I had posted a picture of Fritz sitting in front of our tree with wrapped gifts. That whole thing about the wrapped, unwrapped. And there was a giant box in the background. It was that. So it folds into this little
portable. More portable situation.
More portable situation. And then it's 20 or 30 pounds, I think.
Very nice.
So that he can just shove it in his car. It doesn't have to be on top.
He strikes me as he would be a very good kayak guy. He would enjoy a yak or two.
Yeah, and I think especially since we live on the lake, he wants to start doing it more. But it honestly could have gotten him a regular old kayak, but he wanted something that he could take around to other parts of Austin without having to strap it to the top of his car.
Very nice.
And on the website, it looks like it folds really well, but it took us about 30 minutes.
Oh, wow.
This morning to put it together. I think we got to do a couple more test runs, unfolding and then refolding.
It's like a tent. Once you get the tent down,
but know what you're doing.
It's intimidating to begin with.
But Fritz was staring at us y'all are idiots. It took so long.
Did you enjoy Fritz getting a soccer ball as much as Will did?
He enjoyed it. I mean, I liked watching Fritz, but Fritz, like, all the toys we gave him or anything we gave him, he didn't get that much, but he didn't, doesn't know what's going on.
Next year will be fun though.
Next year, I think he'll kind of get it more, and then in like 2 years, he'll really.
He'll be nuts in 2 years.
Yeah,
it'll be like, oh shit, this is the best holiday ever.
Yeah,
but first year is tough. First year is like, whoa, color, like
care.
Yeah. How about you? What's your favorite gift you
got? I got a ring from Will that I'm currently wearing.
Oh,
yeah,
very nice. You can show all the lovely people out there. I got my dad got me a hardcover luggage for the first time. Game changer.
It's got the 4 wheels, so you can like push it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's big time. Among other things, I got a lot of good stuff, and I'm very, very grateful.
Yeah.
And New Year's we didn't do anything because my sister had the cron, so my dad's a little immunocompromised at the moment, so I had to be very careful. So I kept it very low key.
So you think she had the Omicron though?
Oh yeah, because she could taste and smell.
Yeah.
Which is like a pretty big defining characteristic of this variant.
Yeah.
Is that you keep your taste and smell, and all her only symptoms were sore throat and headache.
Yeah.
That was it, and fatigue.
Running through people.
Yeah, running through.
Be safe out there.
Knock on wood. I'm good. Then I went to New Orleans, which
Will thinks that you have had it and just haven't told anybody.
No, I've never tested positive.
Will has never either.
I know, and you're right, knock on wood, but I've never tested positive.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think I probably, if I have not,
I guess you get your antibodies tested and see.
I'd like to, because Will did, right, and Will has never had it. So I want to do that.
Yeah.
But like I don't think
I had it and I don't have antibodies from having it.
So. Oh really? So okay, then the test is, I don't know. I think I had it at some point. I can't pinpoint when. I can't tell you when.
Yeah.
I've had colds where I feel the only thing I have is like a runny nose and a congestion, but taste and smell, and this is months ago, I don't know.
Do you think 2022, by the end of 2022, we will stop talking about COVID?
Yes.
You think it'll be so mundane that we just don't discuss it anymore?
I think by the end of this year, COVID will be not an afterthought per se, because there's going to be like another winter 2022 spike at some point, but it'll be more or less gone from the discourse, the daily discourse.
Be endemic.
Yes, it will be endemic versus pandemic.
Right. So
I think
hope
that's what this Omicron variant is going to do. Rip through us, but be mild enough that it's almost a blessing in disguise that it goes so quickly. It just kind of burns out.
Wow.
Knock on
Public health with Brett.
wood. I do. It's interesting. It's very interesting stuff. I love reading about it. I love researching about it. Credible sources.
Wow.
But I think it's very interesting. As long as everybody's safe.
Great.
Hey, this is the Mail-In Podcast, Sal. I know
the Omicron podcast?
We can do the Omicron podcast. Okay. I'm sure everybody would love that.
Yeah.
We answer your questions about Omicron and things of that nature, or just completely different. Because when you're in your 20s and 30s, you run into situations that you need help with, and ideally, we've been through them or something similar. Get a laugh in and maybe walk away with something useful. Help us out around there. Subscribe on iTunes and follow on Spotify. Hit the hotline number to leave a voicemail, 888-362-MAIL. That's 888-362-6245. Or you can write in at the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Sally, are you ready to go?
Let's do it.
Hey, guys. I know Sally has done Whole30 before. Any tips or tricks to survive until the end of the month? It's my first time, and I'm not doing it for the weight loss, but want to reset my eating and drinking habits for the first time since 2019. Sally, I included this because it's good. Kick off the new year. I know it's a popular time for renewing maybe diet habits or exercise habits. Any tips on completing stuff like Whole30?
So Whole30 now is really nice because it's a lot more popular than when I first did it and when it first kind of came out, probably Oh, it's probably been like 6 years
Oh,
since the
wow.
first time I did it.
You were like
I think I
on it
did it in
early.
2016 because I worked with a lot of people who were CrossFitters, and a lot of them did Whole30.
By the way, the fact that 2016 is 6 years ago, mentally, I was just like, wait a second. That's like, whoa,
Yeah.
ouch.
So it's a
So it
lot
just happened to
easier
Randy, too.
now because Whole30 as a company has become a lot more inclusive and has it's a lot more mainstream. So a lot of companies like Chipotle and things like that do stuff that's quote Whole30 approved. So you have a lot more options available to you. Whereas the first time I did it, it was like I had to go to a restaurant and ask, like, is this in there?
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
What oil is this cooked in? Blah blah
Mhm.
blah. The first time I did it, I didn't really tell anybody I was doing it, and I think that made things difficult. Partially because nobody knew what it was, and it was
Mhm.
really difficult to explain to people. Now I think people know what the Whole30 is and are a lot more on board with people like being sober in January and committing to health goals. So I think one of the most important things is to tell people and have some accountability. So if your significant other knows, if your family knows, if your friends know, some of them might give you shit or whatever, but having people know so that you don't have to like constantly explain to everyone why you're doing what you're doing makes it easier. And obviously doing it with other people helps too. Like we've done Whole30 in January a couple times, usually with other people, so that like the last time we did it in January, it was Will and I and another couple that at the time were living in New York. And so we would like text every day about like what we were eating that day or what we did. One of our friends, I remember, it gets difficult because you can get really bored, and a lot of
Mhm.
social activities revolve around drinking. So especially in Austin when it's beautiful out and you want to go like sit on a patio and drink,
Mhm. It's tough.
it's tough. Um, but it's also tough when it's cold because you're like, I just want to like sit at home and watch a movie and drink wine.
Mhm.
So you kind of have to reframe your thinking of, and this goes for sober January too. How am I going to do activities that don't involve drinking or don't involve eating? What if I want to meet up with a friend? And instead of like going for a meal, why don't we like go for a walk or something like that?
Sure.
Some of that is doable when the weather is nice, but when it's like really cold, that's not as great.
Mhm.
And I remember my friend Kelly texting me being like, her husband Nate and her they lived in the Upper East Side in New York and they
Shouts.
went to Brooklyn just to get coffee because they were so bored. They were
Oh
like,
my
we're going to go
gosh.
to Brooklyn and get to this coffee shop and walk around because we like have nothing to do.
Oh,
So you
wow.
find activities to do. Okay. Like read a book. If it's nice outside, go for a walk with a friend, take your dog out, whatever.
Mhm.
Keep yourself entertained because it's really easy when you're bored to think about food and alcohol and things like that. And especially when you're doing some sort of elimination diet. So either you're doing sober January or you're doing something like Whole30 where things are off limits to you. When you're bored and your mind is just blank, all you think about are the things that you can't have. So that's like tips 1 and 2. Tell people you're doing it and, you know, make plans to do stuff that
Mhm.
it doesn't revolve around food.
Keep yourself busy so that
Right.
the food and drinking part of it is sort of an afterthought on the day.
I think this goes for any resolution that you have, any habit. Um, I read a book. What is it called? I think it's called The Power of Habit.
Okay.
It's a really good book. And it talks about habit loops and how we form habits and like basically how your brain works in the loop reward system, all of these things. And I'm like misquoting it terribly, but it's a really interesting book. But it takes about 21 days to form a habit. And the whole time that you're trying to form the habit, your brain is like reverting back to what it wants to do.
Mhm.
And at 21 days, part of the reason you form habits is because um, the new reward is like feeling good, or if it's stopping biting your nails, like 21 days in, your nails look good. If it's giving up alcohol, it's like you feel good, you're not
Yeah.
hungover, things like that. So normally in Whole30, they have a part of the calendar like around 18 days where it's called Tiger Blood, where you like feel amazing and you feel like I could do this for the rest of my life because you feel so
Wow.
good that you're like, I don't want to put any
Toxins in my
anything
body.
in my body that's
Yeah.
gonna like make me not feel great.
Sure.
So you just have to get to that point, right? So
Mhm.
it's like it's just fighting every urge you have until you can get to the 21 days. And that goes for everything. It's like starting a workout routine, starting like a, if you're trying to read every day or whatever your thing is. So take it every day, a step at a time. Take it day by day. Don't. Another reason people fail when doing like New Year's resolutions or Whole30 or something like that is because they take on too much. If you're
Mhm.
doing a Whole30, just do a Whole30. Don't be like, I'm going to work out every day. They actually tell you to not work out on Whole30, I think. The reason people, and I don't know what your New Year's resolutions were, Brett, but like the one thing I decided to do this year
Okay.
was like, I'm going to do one and focus on that first.
I
And
like
then
it.
if I can like master that, then we'll move on to the next one.
Mhm.
But people January 1 are like, okay, I'm going to work out. I'm going to get my finances in
Mhm.
order. I'm going to, reach out to every friend every day.
Yep. And my nutrition's going to be immaculate.
Right. And that you're taking on too much.
Yeah.
Your brain can't handle that. So keep it simple. And then the other thing about Whole30, especially because it's food related and you're cutting out a lot, is just plan ahead. So if you know that you're going to be out somewhere and you aren't going to be able to order something that's Whole30,
Mhm.
either eat before or like pack a snack or whatever. And there's so many compliant things now. I think that's where people really struggle is like they get to work and then they forgot their lunch and then they go to the cafeteria and they get, broccoli cheese soup or whatever it is,
Yeah.
because
Yep.
it was easy
Yep.
and it's right there. So have emergency food is what they call it. That's like compliant.
I like it.
And then there's like a lot of Instagram accounts for any resolution you're trying to, follow.
Yeah. Oh, I
Use
think
your
Instagram's a
resources. Yeah.
big help with that kind of thing. For me, I mean, this year it's really eating cleaner. Maybe not necessarily healthier, but like if I'm going to go have, a pasta dish
Mm-hmm.
or a pizza, like instead of doing processed and frozen, going a little more out of my way to go from scratch, like a chicken with, instead of barbecue sauce or like processed shit, making a glaze myself or a
Right.
seasoning myself that I'm going to be able to do and not have something nasty on the side, So
Yeah.
I think that's my biggest thing is cleaner, more personal eating versus.
One thing I think that my favorite part of the Whole30 every time I do it is that I realize that I can cook at home
Mhm.
because we get in ruts where we're like, I'm just too lazy to go to the store or I'm too lazy to make a meal or I'll make like one meal and then I'll be over it.
Mhm.
And then we order takeout for a bunch of stuff.
Yeah.
And so
Yep.
it makes you think about planning for the week and like when you're grocery shopping and making food and realizing that you can make meals that are quick and easy without like a lot of fluff
Sure.
and that are fine. You
Yeah.
know?
Absolutely. And I get discouraged. I live by myself. So I get discouraged when I order stuff or I go to the grocery store and get stuff for a meal that I'm excited about and then watch stuff waste away
Right.
in my kitchen because I don't want to have tacos 2 nights in a row.
Yeah.
So even though I have 14 tortillas left. So just finding a way to incorporate more things into my diet so that I can take advantage of a grocery shopping run for a week
Mm-hmm.
that I don't end up throwing half of the shit out when it goes bad.
Yeah.
And I think that's a problem a lot of people who live by themselves
I
face.
mean, that's a
like
problem that Will and I have. And we,
produce and
Yeah.
greens that are just like, oh, that tomato doesn't work anymore. But
yeah.
so that's a big thing on my radar is to clean up my eating routine. Like I'm just never going to eat chicken and rice every day, just not who I am.
Right.
But making a chicken Alfredo dish or a eggplant parm perhaps instead of like frozen chicken parm. I don't know, but that's big on my radar.
Okay. Is that your New Year's resolution?
Yeah, that's my New Year's resolution
Okay.
to be better with an eating routine.
Cool.
Cool. And eat breakfast sometimes. I never eat breakfast.
You're just accidentally intermittent fasting.
Bingo. That's going to be the name of my biography. Accidentally
Accidental.
intermittent fasting.
Yeah.
You know what is not on my New Year's resolution? That's to stop drinking because Vizzy is too good to not.
You're not doing a sober
No,
January.
no. I can't. Like years until I'm even thinking about a sober January
Okay.
because I enjoy it. I can have one Vizzy in a day and be fine. I don't need to binge it. I don't need to do anything because
Yeah.
Vizzy is that good. Life is full of choices, especially this time of year, whether to get on Whole30 or not, whether to go to the gym or not. One choice that Vizzy makes easy is what to get at the grocery store and the liquor store. And that's Vizzy Hard Seltzer. Doesn't even matter that it's wintertime. I enjoy Vizzy when I'm playing outdoor hockey. Or I had a Vizzy on the bench the other day, Sally, when I was playing hockey with the boys at beer league. They're like, oh, why don't you have another product? I was like, no, I want a Vizzy. So I had some.
Wow.
And guess what? I had a case
Minute.
of it in the locker room and they all enjoyed it.
Yeah.
So shouts to Vizzy for that. It's the first hard seltzer crafted with antioxidant vitamin C, extracted from the superfruit acerola. Have you heard of this, Sally?
I have.
Acerola season all year. There are plenty of hard seltzers to choose from, but with its bold and delicious dual fruit flavors and the antioxidant vitamin C, Vizzy makes the choice a little easier and a lot tastier. Pineapple mango, applied cherry lime, strawberry kiwi, blue pommy, papaya passion fruit, watermelon, strawberry, blackberry lemon, raspberry tangerine. Are you hungry and thirsty yet, Randy? You are. I can see it over there. Also, they have lemonade, which is my favorite. All the lemonade flavors, incredible taste. And guess what? 5% ABV and 100 calories, less than 1 gram of real cane sugar per can. Boom. Step up your seltzer game with Vizzy. To find out where you can purchase Vizzy, go to VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/washed to get updates on our latest flavor drops and more. Sign up for emails at VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. That's VizzyHardSeltzer.com/subscribe. You must be 21 plus to enjoy. How about a voicemail, Sally?
Let's do it.
Hey, Brent and Sally. Had a quick question. My wife and I are going to go to a wine night at a friend's house. And last minute, she's decided that she's going to take the dog with us. So we're going to drive there and Uber back. I personally feel like it's kind of rude and inconsiderate to bring a dog in an Uber. She is well behaved. She's medium sized, about 40 pounds, non-shedding. She's a service dog. She goes to school with my wife, so she is well behaved, but it just seems a little inconsiderate. So I want to know y'all's take. Thanks. Bye.
Bringing dogs, etc., to friends' houses, Sally.
You have to ask first.
Yes.
Always ask. No one likes the people, and I have been this person. I love Rosie, and I really mostly hate Rosie being at home by herself.
Okay.
Like, I think she just gets sad. She's probably freaking fine. She's probably like, thank God they're home. They're like gone, and I'm home alone. But you don't want to be the people who just like show up with their dog all the time.
Yeah, I agree.
And I think you wrote this in the rundown. Same thing with the kid. I mean, most people know right now that like when they're asking me to something, I'm either bringing Fritz or I'm going to say like I'm getting a babysitter. But like, obviously, if it's like a lunch or something, I'm like, hey, just FYI, I'm bringing Fritz.
Mhm.
And most people are like cool with that.
Yeah.
I mean, and I've had friends who were like, hey, we're having people over, no kids, please. Totally fine.
Yeah, I think I was going to ask this question and parlay it into babies as well, because I think it's on the host to say, hey, this is going to be a no kids night.
Yeah.
Would you mind getting a sitter type of thing?
Well, and I mean, that doesn't always have to be explicitly said, but for a lot of things, like Will and I would prefer to like go by ourselves, sans the kid or
Sure,
dog,
yeah.
to some stuff. And so if the event arises that we need to bring one of them, I'm like, hey, so-and-so's, Fritz
Yeah.
is coming with us. A great example of this is we went over to Dylan's house on New Year's Day.
Mhm.
And brought Fritz. They said, bring kids. We've got the kids. And I texted and said, hey, like, should we bring Rosie over to play with Stella? Don't care either way. But they were like, let's not. It's just like a lot. And I was like, totally get it. No problem. Like, I think it's important to ask. If they explicitly tell you, like, that's great if the host says, like, hey, no dogs, or hey, bring your dogs. Dogs welcome. Because I've like had that situation happen too, where it's like, hey, everyone's like bringing their dog to the bar, whatever.
Yeah.
But honestly, you don't want to be the people who just like show up with your dog all the time. It's great that she's like a service dog and really well behaved. I think that changes things, like that she goes to work and stuff, but it just adds like a whole other layer of like complication to something. I think with the Uber, I know we've never had Rosie in an Uber before. I know people who've put their dog in an Uber with them. I think the etiquette there is that you, when you request the Uber, you immediately message the driver and say, hey, I have a dog with me.
Yes.
So they know. And then that gives them the chance to like be like, no, you need to cancel.
Right.
I don't even know if Uber has an option. It's like,
hey, I have my dog with me.
They do.
Interesting.
Oh, Randy's on it right now. Great.
What's it called?
I thought
Uber Pet.
Uber Pet. There
Yes.
you go.
Uber Pet.
I don't know that I've ever been searching for that before. I remember like
they should call it Booper. Because,
Boop. Yeah, I get it. I just think you have to ask the host. And if the hosts are into it, but like also some people are nice enough that they'll be like, oh yeah, cool, sounds great.
And they feel, and then internally they're like,
shit, they're bringing their kid. Why?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know. I don't think it's inconsiderate for people to be like, hey, can we leave the kids at home for this one? Like, we're having an old fashioned wine night.
If you're the host, you should absolutely feel comfortable saying like, no, we're not doing that. And that's okay. Like, and if you're the one invited and ask, you need to be okay with the fact if they tell you no. You know?
Because there's going to be plenty of opportunities both ways where it's like, bring the kids, bring the dog, we're barbecuing. Right. And then there's going to be the wine nights that it's like, no, we're throwing this one back to just getting hammered with friends and leave the kids and the dog at home.
And I used to feel like, is it rude to even ask? But honestly, I think it's
more considerate.
I mean, it's rude to just show up without, but don't feel bad for like asking. We've gone to people's ranches and stuff where we've been like, hey, should we bring Rosie? Like, oh my gosh, yes. Like we're all bringing dogs. Cool. Yep. And then there's times like, no, my parents aren't cool with that. I'm like, okay, cool. No problem. So biggest thing, just ask. Never is going to hurt to ask. But I personally feel like a party, no one else's dog is there. Like, you probably don't need your dog there.
Yeah. You're good.
Like, dogs can go in crates.
Yes, they can.
I mean,
they have no concept of time.
Correct.
Somebody told me that. I was like, oh, okay.
I love Rosie. I like feel so bad for her when we leave sometimes, but like she is totally fine without us.
Yeah. Just chills and sleeps. That's what they do. How about the next one, Sal?
Yeah.
From Kevin in New York. Sally and Brett. Happy New Year. I've got an exciting one for you. I am absolutely 100% no doubt about it, ready to ask my girlfriend to marry me and need a little wisdom. I don't want to take her directly to a jeweler to shop together. It's just not my style. So what are the best ways to find out exactly what ring she will want/expects while maintaining the surprise element? Setting, shape, etc. Secondly, do I need to have already bought a ring/have planned the engagement before I ask her parents for their blessing, or can I ask them while still working out those details? Thanks. Love you guys and love the pod.
Oh, damn, Kevin. I'm surprised he included his name, but more power to him.
That's what we do here.
Okay. Congrats.
Yes, one. Congratulations.
That's awesome. I think it is very difficult to do a full-blown surprise. They have no idea.
Does that even exist anymore?
I was very surprised when Will asked me.
Okay.
I knew that it was going to happen.
Because you need to have a yes, like locked down.
Right. I mean, okay. I meant like in the sense of Will would have never asked me had we had not already talked about being married.
Got
you
it.
get what I'm
Yep,
saying?
I see.
So I don't think, hopefully he's not like just going in like, We've
Going
never
in
even
flying
spoken about
blind.
marriage. I think most likely at this point in the game, people are like, have already spoken about being married. That is a great time to like,
Oh.
for the girl to be like, hey, FYI, like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a like a round diamond girl. Like, I remember telling Will beforehand, like, this is, I exclusively wear yellow gold. He has always known that about me. And
Sure.
I was like, you need to make sure that
Mhm.
you're not, you get me platinum, I'm going to punch you.
I see. Yeah. You laid it out.
I had no idea the ring that he got me. I had never even spoken about wanting that kind of ring.
Oh, as
And
far as like
I loved
shape
it.
of diamonds go and whatnot. Yeah.
He knew I liked round.
Okay.
But like I never expected a 3-stone ring, and it was beautiful, and he did a great job. One thing that Will had that I think is a great resource is if she's got a sister or best friend.
Yeah.
Because they will
absolutely.
know.
Yeah.
So if you are going to propose and you want her to, and you don't want to take her to the ring shop, which I'm kind of the same thing. Like I showed Will rings that I wanted.
Okay.
And he was probably like, you're so annoying, leave me alone. But I didn't want to go pick it out. And then, like some people do, and that's great. I was just not one of those people.
Yeah.
Sounds like Kevin is not either. But he used my sister and told my sister about it, and my sister helped him do the whole thing. And I know that when and if my sister gets engaged, her boyfriend will probably do the same thing.
Yeah, totally.
Because we know exactly what the other person wants.
Yep. And I think leaving it a little up for it gives the guy a chance to kind of pick something that he also likes, and I think or put a little of his own flavor into it.
Right.
Because it's like, okay, I know the parameters.
Right.
And I can now I know where to function there.
Exactly. So, that's exactly what Will did. So he knew that I wanted yellow gold and that I liked round, and then mine ended up being actually like a family heirloom. So I've got a diamond from his mom and from his grandma, which is really awesome. And like a really special surprise and something that he felt like, because sometimes you don't want to like be told like go buy that, and that's what I want. Like sometimes that really takes the romance out of it for some people. So tap into the resources. So I think first of all, if you want it to be a surprise, you need to go to somebody that you know is not going to blab to her.
Yes.
Which I think also plays into, do you ask her parents?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's necessary to have a ring before you ask the parents.
Okay.
But you also, the more people you tell, the bigger risk you are of them telling her.
Yeah.
And on the flip side, when you tell parents, you can't like ask them and then wait a year to do it.
Right.
It's got to be pretty imminent.
Yeah.
And unless you have like a plan, like, hey, I want to ask your daughter to marry me. We're going on this trip in June. Blah,
That's
blah, blah. That's when I'm going to
yeah.
do it. If you have like an actual like, but don't just like ask an open-ended question and then let them
let it simmer,
and then
because
be like,
then
every time they see you, be like, what the fuck is taking so long?
Yeah.
What's his problem? So if her mom is like her best friend and like her and her mom are super close, that's a great time to ask her parents and then say like, I don't have a ring yet, but I would really like your help picking something out because I don't want to like.
There you go.
Right.
Parents feel like they could bottle it up enough.
Right.
To you don't have a whole year or whatever, but you got a couple weeks to months.
If she's got a sister or best friend who you can trust and won't say anything, just know that the more people you tell, like my parents, I don't know.
Did your parents know?
My parents knew, and Will had asked my parents, but Will already had the ring. So I don't think he was going to tell my parents. He got the ring and then decided he wanted to do it. So he talked to my parents.
Got it. Okay.
Because originally I think he got the ring and was going to wait, or he was getting the ring made and was going to wait because I was still in school. And then he got it and was like, no, I got to do it now. And and asked my parents then.
Got it.
Because I love my parents, but we're a really close family. And it's like, there's really no secrets.
Yeah. Between like not only just your parents, but if you got like sisters involved, your parents involved, it's something's going to happen at Matt's El Rancho.
Yeah, it's difficult. I remember when Lily got engaged, they got engaged in Cabo, and we all like knew the week leading up to it, and
Okay.
it's difficult to not like.
Yeah.
Partially because Lily got blue ombre nails for Cabo, and we were like, how do we tell her that that's not a good look when she gets engaged?
Oh man, that's
And we couldn't say anything, so she had
blue ombre nails.
yeah, she had blue ombre nails. It was fine.
Oh, that's funny.
But like, she probably kind of knows that it's could happen. And if she ever, I mean, girls used to have like Pinterest pages and stuff. It is, if you can like get on her Instagram, see if she's saving anything. Like I was like looking at rings on Instagram, I remember before. So we're like new. But yeah, I mean, the more people you tell, the bigger risk of ruining it.
Yeah,
so
but I think
keep it tight.
Sister, mom, best friend is number one resource. Don't try to get too cute with it. 2 being, you don't need to have already bought the ring to engage with her parents on a potential blessing situation.
But I think if you are like, can make it happen quickly and you want it, like, and you don't need their help, waiting until pretty soon before, they're not going to be like, oh, can't believe you already bought the ring. You didn't tell us.
Yes.
Like,
yep.
I don't think anybody's going to be like, that's so presumptuous of him to get the ring and not ask for my permission first.
No, they wouldn't.
No.
They probably already know too. Like that this is going to happen.
I hope that they tell you that it's fine.
Yeah.
What if they don't? What if they're like, no, you're not good enough?
I've always like wondered that. Like, what if you get a no at a proposal or a no from the parents? Like, what do you do?
See, I think that most
pack
people,
it up?
again, this is where I'm like, there's no real surprise engagements, because if you're like legit asking someone to marry you and you've never talked about marriage before, like,
it's on
you're
you.
gonna have some issues.
Yeah, that's
and
on
like,
you.
if you don't have like the self-awareness to realize like maybe her parents hate you before asking her to marry you, like, then maybe y'all shouldn't be getting married. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You have to take some cues.
Yeah.
If you're
I think hopefully he is aware enough.
Like, babe, your parents didn't invite me over for Christmas dinner. What was that about?
They hate you.
Yeah, not huge fans, pal.
Yeah. Well, good luck.
Yeah,
Let
good
us
luck.
know how it goes.
We'll have to.
Someone actually, kind of same topic, wrote into the mail-in like 2 years ago, and then messaged me this past week that they're now engaged.
Oh, wow.
They started dating at the beginning of COVID. And asked like how that should go. They were long distance dating, like what they should do.
Really?
And I think we gave them advice, and now they're engaged.
Look at that. Real world implications, Sally.
We love to see it. We'd love to attend your weddings. Invite us to your wedding.
We'd still wait. Well, actually, we've gotten 1 or 2. They've been prohibitive travel situations, but we've definitely gotten them before.
Brett and I will attend your wedding.
Oh, I am a wedding guy. You know this
I would
about
love
me.
to come to your wedding. So please, I've actually never been to a New York wedding, Brett. So like,
really,
I don't know if they're going to get married in New York, but
I don't know.
Who
Kevin,
knows?
he's from New York, so
Well, I mean, I know, but
we'll see.
maybe it's a destination wedding. If they want to
Could
make their
be.
destination in Austin, that would be easier for us.
Could be, potentially.
Yeah.
We'll see. Leading up to your wedding or after your wedding, perhaps, you could use some liquid IV, couldn't you, Sal?
Absolutely, during the wedding.
Oh, I like that.
We actually, Will and I brought a bunch of liquid IV to Lily and Drew's wedding in Cabo.
Okay.
Big hit with everyone because people, especially the groomsmen,
Yes.
it was hot. People were sweating. They'd been drinking all day. They had to replenish the electrolytes.
What better way to do it?
Multiply their energy for the dance floor.
What
It worked out
better
great.
way to do it than with liquid IV? Because
Exactly.
our pals over there, not only do they have the energy multiplier, not only do they have the hydration, they have the immune support. And it's a time where we could all use a little immune support. You know what I'm saying, Sal?
Yeah.
As we are still in a pandemic. Not necessarily an endemic yet. We are in a pandemic. So you need all the immune support you can get. And the new year is here. There's no better way to kick off 2022 than by making sure you're feeling like your best self. One goal I have for myself this year, like I said, is to eat healthier and clean up my dietary routine. And I will be doing that with the help of my favorite hydration product, Liquid IV, because everybody needs to drink more water in addition to eating cleaner. You know that, Sally? You know how many people don't drink enough water these days?
You should
Aren't hydrated
be
enough?
Pounding water.
And Liquid IV is going to help me do that this year because 1 stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates faster and more efficiently than water alone. All their flavors are good. Watermelon, lemon lime, strawberry, pina colada. That's my personal favorite. and more. It's with me literally all the time. I have each different variety of Liquid IV in my laptop bag at this point, ready to go for if I need a little maybe immune support, maybe a little workout boost or 2 p.m. kind of feeling. You get that little grogginess going. Pop an energy multiplier. It's green. And then the hydration for either late nights or early mornings. Help myself out. Get a kickstart. Maybe I had a little bit of a long night last night, Sally. It was a Tuesday, so I didn't. But if I did, Liquid IV would be there for me. Vitamin B3, vitamin B5, vitamin B6, vitamin B12, and vitamin C are all in there, and it gives you 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. They're on a mission to change the world at Liquid IV. They've donated over 19 million servings globally, and for that, we thank them. Also, CTT, cellular transport technology. It's the secret. I can't tell you what's in it or else I'd have to kill you, but it's CTT.
Do you know what's in it?
Oh, yeah.
They told you?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I don't even know.
Oh, yeah, you can't.
Okay. Well.
Grab Liquid IV in bulk nationwide at Costco, or you can get 25% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code MAILIN at checkout. That's 25% off anything you order when you use promo code MAILIN at liquidiv.com. Experience better hydration today at liquidiv.com, promo code MAILIN. Did you have something to say, Sally?
No.
Okay. Let's do the next one. What's up, guys, and Happy New Year. To cut straight to the point, I've been working in my STEM career, shouts, at the same company for 4 years now. My boss announced he will soon be retiring in a few years, 3 to 5, let's say. And I've been predominantly working for his clients, so I've been told I have potential to have an easy path up to leadership. This is great and all, but currently my company sucks. I feel unsupported and burnt out with the same issues coming up all the time. What the hell do I do? I know I can get a job elsewhere. Like last year, I actually applied and had an offer when I was seeing what was out there, but I feel like I may be throwing away a huge opportunity, i.e. making great money and being a leader earlier than expected by leaving. For reference, I'm 28 years old and about to be married. Side question as well. If I do decide to leave, should I do it as soon as I can find something or after my wedding? Love the pod and always love hearing you guys answer our questions. Some nuance here, Sally. Because you know me, I am team take a leap.
Same.
Always have been, always will be. It's what I did, and I will never regret it because I love what happened. But a couple things in here that make a little sense to stay because new leadership, you have an opportunity to move up very quickly. Maybe juice your resume for a potential future move. You have a wedding upcoming. Maybe you don't want to stir the boat a little bit or rock the boat. But ahead of that, if you have crazy good stability, I don't know here. What do you think?
So a couple things stick out to me. One, 3 to 5 years is when he's retiring. Like 3 to 5 years is a long time.
That's not short. Not short.
It says soon. I mean, that's probably soon for him who's had a career in for 30 plus years.
Yes.
But like 3 to 5 years is a long time to continue to be shit on.
Mm-hmm. I imagine it's 5. Like,
right.
That's like 20% of your like best working years, right?
So, and there's no guarantee you get this job. Like, they might have like dangled it in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if he doesn't leave? What if they choose someone else? Whatever. Part of me though is like, okay, you've got a built-in, path to leadership, things like that. Here's what you have to ask yourself. If I am the boss, if I become the boss, will I make things better? Will things change?
Yeah, or will it just continue to be the same shitty company?
Right. Well, because even though I think a lot of people in the last year have realized like compensation can make up for a lot of shitty things. Like if I just get paid more, I'll be okay with this, this, and this.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you don't like what you do, it doesn't matter if you're, it sounds like she likes what she does, but if you hate where you work, it doesn't matter how much they pay you.
Mm-hmm.
At a certain point, like, you're not going to enjoy doing your job. if you hate your
Sounds like
company.
you are she or he. I don't know which one, but
I think she said woman instead.
Okay.
Oh no. Oh, maybe not.
I don't know.
I assumed it was a girl, but it could be a boy.
They already don't enjoy their job because they're burnt out. They have issues with the company, and they've already done a search. Like
Right.
you clearly know what you want to do here.
Well, here's a little Sally Pearl. What if you looked for a job and then went to your company and was like, I'm leaving.
But
You told me that I could have this little promotion raise,
yeah,
and I will consider staying if you start transitioning me into that role. But I think these things need to change.
I don't hate that because
And on the flip side, when you're getting a new job, you'd be like, well, I'm supposed to transition into the leadership role, but I don't like these 3 things about the company, and I think that I'd be a better fit here. Parlay that into a little more money.
I don't hate that. More money.
More
Give
money,
me my
more
money.
responsibility, whatever it is that you want.
I like that. Now, I will say the one thing about taking a leap is I'm much more for that scenario when you have something lined up,
Yeah.
like offer on paper lined up. Not, and I won't poo-poo it, but like moving to a new city and then hopping on LinkedIn at the coffee shop down the street from your apartment that you can't afford.
Yeah.
Not crazy about that.
So I personally am of the sense of like, if you really don't like your company and stuff is bad and you know that you can leave, I would leave.
Yeah.
With the caveat of, I think if your boss is like a mentor and somebody that you're close with and you can like confide in and be like, hey, I don't like this stuff and I'm kind of looking for a job, or especially when you already have an offer, give him a chance to be like, I didn't like these things. And
Sure.
even though what you're doing is like my aspiration, I don't know if these things will change when I take over that role.
Sure. And there's another tricky part of this, Sally, where they say they work with his clients. And so if your idea is to go to the new job and just take those clients as business, maybe you're a salesperson, or I guess in STEM, like trying to work with them too, that's not, you can't do that.
Right.
You can't be stealing books of business to go to a new job and be like, oh, it's going to be great over here. Because that's just, I think it's illegal, honestly.
I mean, that is illegal, but I don't think that that's the case here. I just think.
Yeah. Just another caveat. But.
Right. So yes, I personally am always of the like, if things are bad enough that you've already considered leaving, then I would err towards the side of leaving.
Totally.
No one works for a company and thinks everything is 100% awesome. Every single person who works somewhere has things that they would change, even if they're the boss of the company. Like, even if they're the CEO, there's things that they probably would change.
Sure.
So you have to, I think that's a sign of maturity, like realizing, okay, what I'm saying is there's a difference between like, oh, I hate this company and their values don't align with mine and this is never going to change. And then like, oh, this is an inconvenience to me. And like, I think that this job will offer better stuff. So I'm going to take that job instead. It doesn't sound like this person feels that way. I think that they have been there long enough and realize like these are cultural problems. This isn't going to change. I don't like the way this is done. And if you know that that's not going to change, even if you stick around for 5 years and get a promotion and all of those things, then why are you staying?
Yeah.
Why are you enduring that?
If you're already burnt out, like Sally said, why are you doing that to yourself?
Right.
Why let that happen when you clearly have the ability? Like I'm not talking like the opportunity, the innate ability to excel at a job.
Right.
So go prove it to yourself that you can in another spot. And I think the wedding part of this doesn't matter if you have something lined up. As long as you have an offer, as long as you have a promise of a paycheck,
Yeah.
then the wedding is just kind of secondary in my mind.
Yeah, the wedding to me, I mean, The only issue here is like if you start a new job and y'all are planning on taking a honeymoon or whatever,
You have to be like, hey.
exactly.
But maybe that's an advantage because you already know I'm going to be in Aruba July 10th through July 17th.
Yeah.
Like, sorry.
Yeah.
And I don't think any companies would be like, well, that's the deal breaker.
Yeah. I agree. I don't think there's any reason to like wait because you've got a big life event unless you're like, I mean, I think some people stay at their job because they need the health insurance or the whatever,
Sure.
stuff like that. But like, if you're ready to change and you have a job offer and it's like a wedding is a wedding. I mean, it is a big deal. You do have to take time off, but it's not going to like change the trajectory of your marriage that you changed jobs right before.
It may help it.
Maybe.
Because if you're motivated at work and you're excited about going to work, maybe you bring that at home and you're a better...
not, like, stressed about your job.
Right.
Yeah.
If you are stressed about your job, though, and maybe you have a tough time, unwinding at night, maybe when you put your head on the pillow, there's a lot of stuff racing through it. And I'm sure with a wedding and a potential employment change coming up, you are that person. Well, boy, do I have an app for you, Sally & Co. That's our friends over at Calm. A lot of emotions surface during the holiday season and during wedding season. Happiness, sadness, joy, excitement, stress, the list goes on. Remember to take time for yourself this holiday season and make sure you keep your mental wellness in check. Take a break with Calm. That's my 5-second break.
Oh,
with
wow.
Calm.
I was like, did he not realize where he was reading?
Let go of what you're holding on to and let Calm help you with that. Your to-do list, your pending projects, your pending unemployment or change in employment, your wedding, your relationships, and just focus on your breath. We all need a few moments in the day where we are at one with ourselves, and Calm can help you do that. It's the new year, which means we've all got exercise on the brain. But really what you need is to exercise your brain. How about that, Sally? Resolve to strengthen your mind with a mindfulness practice. And just like a new gym routine, you may need a little help from a trainer, and that's where Calm comes in. For a lot of us, this may be the first time we'll be spending the holiday season with our loved ones in quite a while. Being together was great and is great, but it can be exhausting. And after long days filled with family, friends, and fun, wind down with Calm. We're partnering with Calm, the #1 mental wellness app this year, to give you the tools that improve the way you feel. Clear your head with guided daily meditations, improve your focus with Calm's curated music tracks, and drift off to dreamland with Calm's imaginative sleep for children and adults. Go to calm.com/mail. You'll get a limited time offer of 40% off a Calm premium subscription, which includes hundreds of hours of programming, and new content is added every week. Over 100 million people around the world use Calm to take care of their minds. Sleep more, stress less, live better with Calm. For listeners of our show, Calm is offering a special limited time promotion of 40% off a Calm premium subscription by going to calm.com/mail. Go to calm.com/mail for 40% off unlimited access to Calm's entire library. That's calm.com/mail. How about the next one, Sally?
That was so calming.
Thank you. Hey, guys. Long story short, my roommate, who I essentially met when we all moved in together, had a girl stay over at our place for several days, Randy, while he and his girlfriend were on a break. Now, his girlfriend is back in the picture. What do? Do I tell her? Or do I stay out of it? If it were me, I would want to know. But on the other hand, I'm not in a position where I could easily move out early or find another place when the lease ends in August. Also, some context. The girl he had stay over is a foreign exchange student that has since moved back home and was someone he brought up a couple times as someone he would pursue if he was not dating his current girlfriend. Uh-oh.
Yikes.
Uh-oh.
Couple things here. Like, is he close with the girlfriend? Because, like, how much does he owe this girlfriend? Ideally, yes. Like, we're all honest with each other. And we, like, I would also want to know.
Yeah.
But it's not even to me about, like, the loyalty of, like, the friend versus the girlfriend.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, is it your place to meddle?
That's the whole crux of this thing. And that's something I don't know. I would have the same question, and I would call into the mail-in and ask the same one because I don't have a great answer here.
For me, if you're really close with the girlfriend and she trusts you, I think
Yes.
that you owe it to her. And not that you don't owe it to her if you're not close with her and you're closer with the roommate / friend. But I think you're letting down someone more if you know them well and you like pretend nothing happened.
Mm-hmm.
I think the real answer here is you need to tell the friend / roommate, hey, that was kind of shitty.
Yeah.
Is she aware of that?
Yeah, exactly. You put the onus on him,
Right.
take it off yourself, and say, dude, I love you. That was a weird situation. I was not thrilled about that. Now you're back together. And if you're acting like it didn't happen, maybe put that on the table because that's going to be better for everybody involved.
Yeah.
Because I would want to know too, like I'd want to know too.
We can't go around like policing everyone's actions is
No.
the issue. And so as much as I would want to know, and I do preach communication and openness and things like that, it's a tough spot to like, you don't know what the ramifications of like their break were.
Yeah.
Right?
It could have been a total clean. It could have been, did she go out and hook up with somebody too? And then you make it weird for her because she wasn't going to say anything about that, but now you said something. So he has to say something. Now I sound like Vince Vaughn. And what do you do?
At least you have the proof because you were there when like that girl was staying there. It's always like uncomfortable when it's like I heard he cheated on you, but then you don't like have any.
Yeah, there's no proof.
You have nothing to back up what you are claiming.
Mm-hmm.
I think number one, you tell the roommate like, hey, that was kind of weird. Like, does she know? Like, are y'all good? You may want to tell her. Yeah,
and maybe you don't even turn it into an ultimatum. Maybe it's sort of like hey, what are you going to do about that? And what do you want me to do about that?
Yeah.
Because like then you're kind of taking the liability off yourself. If she finds out, she's like, did you know? You're like, yeah, but we kind of discussed this. Then maybe she still doesn't like you for that, but you don't have the ultimate responsibility in that scenario. I don't know. I'm trying to, I wrestle with this question every time that gets asked, and I still don't know the perfect answer.
I think you tell him, does she know what's up with that? And then be honest about how you feel about it. Be like, I kind of feel weird that like we're keeping something from her.
Yeah, I feel weird being in this situation.
And it like makes me feel bad. And that's pure honesty.
Mm-hmm.
And if he gets upset with that, that's his issue.
Yeah.
I don't think that like you being honest with him in that manner is going to like end a friendship / living situation.
Mm-hmm.
But that will really show you the true character like of your roommate. And then if he kind of responds to something you don't agree with, like, oh, I'm not going to tell her and I would do it again and fuck her.
Yeah.
Then like maybe that gives you the like how you should really feel about him / maybe your loyalty lies with the girlfriend. You decide to tell her and figure out your living situation later.
Yep.
Or maybe he's like, yeah, we've already talked about it.
Yeah. And maybe it's easy. And it's like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I think you go to him first. And then based on his response, you figure out step 2. If it's open and like, yep, I'm going to tell her, wait for him to do it. And if he doesn't, then you have a conversation with her. If he's like, no, why would I tell her? We were on a break. Then you reevaluate your situation with him and your living situation.
So like, here's a question.
Oh boy.
If you were the other person in a relationship, so say like suspend the fact that we're both in relationships.
Mm-hmm.
If you were the other man, right?
Okay.
And you found out like, oh, she's got a boyfriend or a husband.
Yeah.
And you didn't know. And
like I was the break guy.
Yeah.
Like I was the rebound sort of like get it out of your system.
Would you tell the boyfriend?
No. I don't think I would. I don't think I think that's a degree of separation too far to meddle. I don't think I would.
Yeah.
Would you?
I think it depends. I think
Yeah.
again, I would probably tell
I mean, if
that
he was
guy
like
hey,
if he was
you
like
need
my
to tell her.
friend, it's like a hometown situation where it's like if I was single and like my girlfriend's ex or my boy's ex was like coming on to me at a bar, we like hooked up, and then they got back together, I'd be like, ooh, like, hey, that
Yeah.
happened. But if it's like a
I'm saying just
vacation,
like a random dude, like you find out the girl you've been hooking up with
Yeah.
is married. Like, do you tell him?
oh, so we're talking like a different scenario almost, right?
Well, no. I mean,
Like if you were the cheatee and you didn't know,
yeah.
then I would tell.
Like, do you think this foreign exchange student knows?
Ooh. No? I don't know.
don't know.
These situations are all, man.
I
I'm
think
not
again,
good at
I
these.
think if I'm in that position and I'm the foreign exchange student, I tell him and I find out
Mhm.
he has a girlfriend, I'd be like, you got to tell your girlfriend.
Yeah. Yeah, if I was the unknowing cheatee, I'd be like, yeah, you gotta tell. I don't want to be in that position where I'm like,
Right.
I'm always living with the cloud over my head. Like, am I gonna get punched out of nowhere? I would be like, you gotta tell him, or else I will tell him.
Cheating's messy.
Don't do it.
Don't do it.
It's much easier to not cheat.
Just break up with the person before you cheat on them.
Yep. Go home. Kevin Clancy, JJO. I've let you figure out those initials. Randy. Yeah. He didn't do that, by the way. That'll do it for questions for today. Sally, do you have any shower thoughts?
Mine was kind of like talking about our resolutions, so we
Okay.
can go to yours.
Mine is, have you seen the Powerball jackpot lately?
No.
$610 million. It's getting back up into like where it's making the local news kind of deal. Every once in a while, probably every 6 months or so, it gets above like 400 or 500.
Yeah.
And people start getting the stories like, oh, so-and-so is going to
What's
this.
your so okay, this kind of plays into that.
Yeah.
First of all, what level does it have to be for you to split it with people?
If anywhere above 500, I'm making whatever cash I have in my pocket, like $2, $4, $6.
You say 500 million?
Yeah, if it gets
Okay.
to 500 million, that's when I perk up a little bit.
Okay.
Because before anything below that, I think there's like
100 million is just chump change to you. You just
no,
don't
but there's
care.
a formula where your time is actually worth the correct amount so that it makes sense for you to go out of your way and spend $2 on a lottery ticket.
Okay.
Like there's an equation where the expected return of your $2 is greater than $2.
What?
I think it's like 500.
How
600
many
million.
lottery tickets are you buying if it's 500 mil?
I'm taking a 10 and I'm buying a Red Bull for $4 or Celsius for $3 or $4, and then probably $6. So 3 Powerball
Do
tickets.
you know that there are people out there that will go spend $100 on lottery
Absolutely.
tickets?
We used to do it at Barstool when it would
But I'm
get.
talking about like a single person.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's people that do that.
I know one
for
of them.
themselves. Oh, really?
Yeah.
Is it like Lily?
No. No. This person likes to gamble, so that makes sense.
Okay.
Okay, so that's my one question. So
Mhm.
between two friends, I actually, now that I know that the jackpot's that high, I actually need to text them.
Okay.
We have this joke where it's like, okay, if it's above 100, we'll split it 3 ways.
Okay. That's fun. Yeah.
Like we're cool going in on that.
Yeah. We have a Wash Media pool currently
Cool.
that your husband is in on.
Great. I hope y'all win. That would be great.
Same.
What is the minimum you need to win in the lottery to totally quit working?
Oh man. See, it's so tough because I have a dream job. Like this is
quit working for money. I mean, you could do, you could be involved, but like don't
For
care about getting
like,
a salary.
probably 50 million.
I think mine's 50.
50 million. Yeah. Because anything below that, I'd be nervous about losing it
Yeah.
and not having a paycheck. I know that's a crazy amount of money, but And
this question used to be a little bit more difficult when we were in. I remember this happened. I think there was a jackpot. It was like close to $1 billion.
oh yeah, 2016 it was 1.4. I remember we were in college.
I think in 2019 there was one that was like 800 or 900.
Yeah.
And my friend and I were in school and we were about to graduate. I mean, we were like probably 8 months from graduating grad school.
Okay.
And I was like, how much do you have to win to totally stop?
Yeah.
And I think at that point we both agreed like I'd probably just finish because we're so close at this point.
That's fair. Yeah.
But like, you know, had you asked me at like before I like entered residency, probably 50 million.
Yeah.
Cause like, how much am I going to make in a lifetime? How much, you know, to like, I think it would take a lot for me to just completely never go to work at the hospital again.
Yep. Like 50 at 50, say it's okay.
And I'm not saying that I think I can make $50 million in a lifetime. What I'm saying is I think I like my job enough that like, if I won a decent amount, I'd probably like go part-time or like just do it a couple, you know, times a month just for shits and giggles. Cause I like want to keep up my skills.
Yeah.
But like to just totally blow your entire life up and be like, cool, I'm never like going into washed ever again, not speaking to those idiots.
It would have to be, well, no, because even at 50, I would want to be involved.
You're gonna like invest in the company.
Yeah, I would create something that would assist
cool?
Wash.
Is some of that money gonna go back to?
I mean, yeah.
It's so funny when people talk about the lottery because then you start like mentally spending the money.
Oh, totally. That was my question. Is that so? After
sorry, 600, I derailed your shower.
No. We're on the right track. It's at 610 million.
Okay.
The cash option right now is 434, and after taxes, immediately you get 24%. I think it is now taken out, and then you have to report the difference between the 37% top tax bracket and the 24% that's immediately taken out in 3 months or whenever tax day is. So you end up with about like 230 million if it was all yours.
Okay.
That is a number that like, see you later. But I'd also want to do something.
I mean, that's fuck you money.
I wouldn't go to a private island and sit there for the rest of my life.
Well, yeah.
I would want to like build a restaurant on a private island.
There's a very good article, and I don't remember who wrote it. It came, I think I saw it on Twitter during this like 2019, like almost near billion jackpot.
Yeah.
About what you should do if you win the lottery.
There's a lot of steps.
And why most people who win the lottery do not create generational wealth. And that is because most people who win the lottery are not very smart.
Absolutely. The biggest problem.
I'm saying I am one of those people who's not very smart, like with money. Like to make that kind of money work for you and future generations takes a lot of understanding that you need to outsource to somebody else besides yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So, if you're asking me like what I would spend money on, like $30 million.
So so 200. Excuse me, it's 273.
Okay.
It's 330 immediately. You'll get a check for 330, and that's after the feds take their 24, and then you have to be careful about the.
I'm going to let our listeners in on a little tip.
Yeah.
If you win the lottery, and this is what you're supposed to do, given the article that I.
Okay.
First of all, you're taking the cash option, right?
Absolutely.
No. I think that one time Dylan and Dave both said that they would get it weekly, which
the annuity is no. Do not take the annuity.
You're not guaranteed to live the next day. Okay. Yes. And then they don't have to pay you shit.
Yes.
So
yes. No, the annuity is in. I get that people feel more comfortable with it. They're like, oh, I have $3 or $4 million a year. No. Take the cash option because you can make more on literally risk-free interest.
Correct.
Over the course of take the cash option.
Take the cash option. Okay, that's step one. Step two, I think you have like 90 days to claim it.
Depends on the state, I believe.
Okay.
But
you wait till the very last day to claim it. You don't tell anyone.
Zero. You don't want press. You don't want
press. You don't want people suing you. Yeah, like you tell no one. You go hire an attorney and a financial advisor. And I'm not talking like the the people that you see on TV, like with shitty commercials. I'm talking like top dog. You got to show them that you won the lottery. And then you're like, I need you to be on my team. You're on retainer now.
Yeah,
Stop working
like,
for other people.
I understand you're
mine.
not getting paid immediately,
Right.
but
And then what you do is you set up essentially like
a shell company.
okay, we're not like telling you.
No,
how
it's
to
not
evade
illegal.
taxes.
It's not illegal. It's you set up a shell company,
Right,
an
and
LLC.
you set up the way that you give money to people is you set up a foundation, and then you employ all of your family members as like board members of the foundation, and that's how they get paid millions of dollars, like pretty much tax free.
Tax free, yeah. Oh yeah. No, there's steps here, Sally.
But you don't just get it and go buy a PJ.
Correct.
You ask your financial advisor, can I go buy a PJ? But you don't just willy-nilly be like, okay, cool, we're taking a worldwide trip. You got to have people who know what the fuck they're doing make those decisions for you.
Correct.
That's how you create generational wealth.
If it flies, drives, or F's, rent it. Lease it is what the word is. I don't necessarily agree with that, but that's the common Jordan Belfort saying.
Yeah. So I'm just saying I am at least smart enough to know that I'm not smart enough to handle money like that.
Yeah. I would be like, I'm going to take a chunk of $1 million and just like blow. Not blow, not actually cocaine. I would just like, Mr. Financial Advisor or Mrs. Financial Advisor, I'm going to take this $1 million. You are never going to see it again because I'm going to be very reckless with it. I'm going to go to Vegas. The money to blow stuff.
The issue with that though is, Brett, I get that, but you can't do any of that until all your shit is protected.
No. It's like
because if all of a
down the
sudden
line.
Flashy Brett is out and we're like, what's Brett doing? And they're like, shit, did he win the lottery?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like, I remember the time that I like nearly choked on a grape at your apartment, and then like next thing you know, I'm suing you.
Damn, that would have been sad.
Yeah, well, get ready.
I don't even know what would my defense have been. Like
shit on my phone of like ways to sue people if they win the lottery.
Well, your current share with Will's money that he put in is 30% of the pot, which would net you $82.8 million in Will DeFreeze's name. So.
Well, what's his is mine because
true,
we are married.
Oh yeah,
Texas
true.
is a common property state.
Cha-ching.
Or something like that. I don't like. I basically get 50%.
Okay,
yeah.
let's end the podcast by saying the financials are taken like from a law standpoint.
You've done all your shit. What
now
are you doing?
you put $30 million in the bank. Like you have you're all set.
Okay, what
are you doing? $82 million. Call it 50 since 30 of it is like set
okay.
away.
I am buying a baller house in Austin.
Yep.
Probably buying a house on Lake Michigan.
Yeah. So call that.
That's probably
that's
like
10-ish.
10.
Yeah. Cash.
And then I am summering in Italy.
Okay. Millie?
And deciding where the hell Fritz is going to go to boarding school.
Boom. / college. Another Millie.
Yeah.
So you got 12 just
gone.
Poof. Car?
Yeah, I'm going to get several cars.
Okay.
I don't know what they would be though. I'm going to need somebody to.
I got you.
I mean, like my real answer is like I want a private jet. But
wow.
I agree with you. I don't think you buy one. I think you just lease it. But like, I'm flying private always.
Mm-hmm. That's
always.
the answer.
Because like I hate airports. I hate them. And if I could fly private, I know that that's like such a snotty thing to say. It's really not though. Because like, I would love to never have to go through airport security again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Same. Lease a private jet, or honestly, the services nowadays are so user friendly. You can just get online, and it's like, okay, it's not easy, but like $24,000,
yeah,
versus a $30 million jet that you're going to use less than you think.
that probably more than anything is what I would want to do. Like
Yeah.
I would probably travel and do it on a private plane because I just cannot. I love to travel and I will sit in an airport, but it's my least favorite part. I mean, it's probably everyone's least favorite part at this
Sure.
point. I used to even like not mind airports on the way there because you're like excited. But
Excited, get a
it's still
drink,
su-
you get a-
it's now it's such a beatdown with COVID and like having a kid and stuff. It's
Having a
just-
kid
it's
changes the game
difficult.
immensely, I feel. I've never seen parents like relaxed and sitting still at an airport.
So much anxiety.
Yeah.
So that's probably my number one. Like
Okay.
more than a car, more than anything else, I just want to fly private.
Mm-hmm.
Someone put me on a private jet, please. I'm begging you.
I'm going ski house immediately. I'm taking a winter off of work
Okay.
and I'm buying a bar and bartending in a ski town. Having no one know anything about why I have a shit ton of money.
Okay.
That's all I'm doing. First, anyway.
Yeah, I'm going to the Amalfi Coast, probably.
Very nice. Very nice place.
Just all around Italy, actually.
Oh, just gallivanting.
Like for the summer.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it. Is that the best time to go?
I mean, that's like probably the most popular. It's time.
Okay.
Warm.
Nice.
don't know.
Does Italy get cold? Besides the
Yeah,
north?
like a lot of those coastal towns are closed from like October to
Oh, really?
April or May.
Didn't know.
Yeah.
There you go. All right. Good luck
I guess I need to go buy lottery tickets. When's this drawing?
tonight.
Oh shit. Okay.
Mhm. And Saturday if nobody wins. But yeah, tonight.
I hope it's us.
Would be
If
kind of
we win, we're not recording this podcast ever again. Like I'm done. Sorry.
We will have a new
Maybe
mail-in
for my
co-host.
private jet.
Yes. Well, no, we do one episode.
And it's,
That's like holy shit.
yeah.
We just get to joke about stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, good luck.
Good luck.
Thank you. Good luck to you guys out there if you're playing the lottery as well. It's kind of fun. We like chances of winning are so low, but it is fun to do what we have been doing, and that is part of why we enjoy the lottery and why we work in the first place, because we want the freedom to be able to do things like this. So,
I would still record this podcast if I had.
I would too.
I would have a lot more time because I'd probably quit my job.
That's
So,
true. That's true. I would probably literally do the same thing I'm doing, which is kind of fun because I enjoy working at Wash that much. Randy, thank you for being on the Ones and Twos. Randy's current share is 42 million if he wins.
Wow. Randy. Tight.
So
Can I add more money so our share is a little bit bigger?
sure.
Okay. Maybe I'll
You
do
have
that.
cash on you? Cash only.
I do have cash on me.
Okay, there we go. For you out there, hopefully you win the lottery too and still listen to this podcast if you do. If not, I get it. Subscribe, rate 5 stars, review, and tell a friend about it. Hit the hotline number, leave a voicemail, 888-362-6245, 888-362-MAIL, or you can write in the link in the Twitter bio at Mail-In Podcast. Sally, where can the people find you?
Sally DeFries on Instagram and Twitter.
I am Schmerriman, SHMERRIMAN on both. Hope you enjoyed my calm app read. That was more of an audition for a calm story myself, so we'll see. We'll
Wow.
see. And see you guys next Thursday.
Bye.